All right, this is going to be your last time to show me how you're doing on this target. When you are finished, I want you to put SRG on the back, and I'm hoping you're hitting the target. I'm hoping you're 3, and I'm hoping that everybody is that. Okay? Using the Pythagorean theorem. Here is the theorem. They're giving it to us. They're telling us that they have decided that this is leg A. Whoops. That this is leg A. This is leg B, and this is leg C. Or not leg C. This is the hypotenuse, which is always the longest side, and notice that it is directly across from this symbol that tells us that it's a right triangle. The hypotenuse is always directly across. So we're plugging in 7 squared for A. We're plugging in, well, we're keeping B squared the same because we're solving for B. And then we're plugging in 12. We're plugging in 12 for C. 12. And yes, 7. Okay, so 7 squared is 49. 12 squared is 144. We want to take 49 away from itself. And what we do to one side, we do to the other. We're subtracting. We are solving for leg B. Okay? When we are solving for one of the legs, we subtract. And then we take the square root of B squared that undoes multiplication. And what we do to one side, we do to the other. We take the square root of 95. And with a calculator, we're going to see the square root of 95 is 9 and 74 hundredths. 9 and 74 hundredths. 9 and 74 hundredths. We want to round to the nearest 10. So this is 4 or less, so that 7 stays the same. That 7 stays the same. We don't have to round up the 7. When a perfect square is not given, use a calculator and round to the nearest 10th. Okay? Write an equation that can be used to answer each question, then solve the equation, rounding answers to the nearest 10th. What is the distance from the ground to the place where the ladder touches the house? All right? So we have 6 feet. We have 25 feet. I'm going to circle those numbers. Those are important. And underlining the question. And I'm going to box in the important terms or words. The distance from the ground to the house where the ladder touches the house. Wow, those were all really important words. It's basically telling us that we need to solve for C. No, it's not. This is C. Okay, so that should help you. And this is C. See how it's directly across from this symbol? It tells us it's a right triangle, and hypotenuse, or C, is always directly across from that. Find the length of the diagonal square whose sides are 8 inches, are each 8 inches. Okay, so I'm going to draw a square. And we're basically trying to figure out this length. Well, squares are all the same length. Squares, same length on each side. 8 inches. Okay, so we know what the legs are. I'm going to leave that there for you to work on. Same length on each side. Squares are the same length on each side. I drew my picture. Find the length of the diagonal of the square. Circled important numbers. Boxed off important terms. John and Bob are 15 feet apart on the ground. If John is flying a kite and he lets out 25 feet of the string and his kite is directly above Bob, how high is the kite? Circling important numbers. Oh my goodness, circling numbers. Here's the question. How high is the kite? Underlining the question. So we have John and we have Bob, and they're 15 feet apart, and they're on the ground. And if John's flying his kite and lets out 25 feet, of string, what is the length, or how high is the kite? Okay. John, Bob, hypotenuse, leg, all right, so number 5 and 6, these are going to be level 4 because you're going to need to draw the picture. And I'm going to slow down and read it to you. On a regulation baseball field, okay, we know what a baseball field looks like, right? First base, or home, first, second, third, and then home again, right? There are 90 feet between the bases. Here's our question. How many feet are there from the home plate and to second base? So again, I think it's going to be kind of a diagonal. Remember to round to the nearest tenth. The width of a TV is 22 inches and its diagonal is 32 inches. What is the height of the TV? Okay, so circling in numbers, important numbers, underlining the question, the width, diagonal. Okay, good luck. Show me what you can do.